cleaving and living. And if people have understood the concept of cleaving and living, then as much as there is pressure societal, but then you will not allow society to influence. There is societal pressure, but if you have done the cleaving and the living appropriately, then you have the potential or the capacity to be able to resist societal pressure. I'll give you an example. I did a survey in Petrina last year, and they were talking about teenage pregnancy. I went to all the schools. Some of the schools are multiracial schools. There's black and white. And interestingly, the teenage pregnancy in Petrina currently, there is more amongst people of color like me. They're going to school with the same people who have different color, but they're not getting pregnant. I had to find out. And then I found out the black children at home, their parents don't talk to them about sex and issues. They just say, don't play with boys, you become pregnant. And I spoke to all the principals. They said we have a huge, and just imagine in 2 years they have not heard any white children were dropped out because of pregnancy. But they go to the same school. They probably date the same people. But for us to be able to stand out there on society, it starts where we are coming from. When we understand the concept of the living and the cleaving, it also has an ability to withstand the influence. Because you just don't leave your emotional past. You're also able to say, hey, your mom-in-law, your parents want still to influence you. He said if the man has to live and cleave, the woman also has to do the same. So if only one part of the marriage lives and cleaves, then there's no possibility of the other part, because the other part is going to be open to influence. So societal pressure is part of what we go through. You have to develop the capacity of your mind. Your mental strength has to be strong enough. And it comes back to what I said. If you don't know who you are, why are you here? You just flopping, you get influenced by anything. And sorry to say, majority of the women are easily influenced because of what somebody has done in terms of the kind of a wording. And I've sat with couples, and you ask the husband, what you want to do in the next 5 years? You give you a detail. You ask the woman, what you want to do in 5 years? So sorry to say, to most women, marriage is the biggest accomplishment they can do. They literally have nothing they have planned for their lives, and it comes back and gives my inspector a lot of work, because they are worried. Everybody is talking to Jane, everybody is talking to her. In my field, I speak to many people. That's my job. So you need to be able to define yourself. And I think when we come to the cleaving and living, a lot of the whole things will be dealt with. There is nothing called wife material. A woman is already wife material when she's a teenager, in the sense of the qualities of a woman, of a wife. They are already taught how to do A, B, C, D. But you can become a better wife. You can become a better husband. Because of the person you married, you can actually help each other to become a better husband or a better wife. But it's not a title that I get. Nobody is born without being a wife. Everybody is a wife material as long as they're a woman. Because a woman has the qualities of a wife material. But it's because of the things that we think and we hear, and we probably don't look at them. You will find a lot of, I've heard the cleaving, but I've heard the cleaving only, mostly churches, they only speak, the husband must live. If the husband is living and cleaving, why is the wife not living and cleaving? They both have to live and cleave for them to have a better understanding and have a rapport that they cannot be influenced by outer sources.
Wow. It's something there, you say, if you go for exams, you study. If you study 100%, you get 100% points, you'll get it. And if you study half, you'll get your half points. And if you're not going to study, you're not going to get any points. So in the marriage, if you don't give your 100, you're not going to get your 100 back. So you have to work hard to get that 100.
Wow. So marriage is actually hard work. Do we have any single ladies out there? It's hard work. And hard work and hard work and hard work. If I have to ask Coach, why do you think it's so difficult for people to live and cleave? Is it because of the ways that they were brought up? Or is it because of their selfishness? Sorry to say that, but some people are really way too selfish. They don't want to sacrifice on behalf of somebody else. Or what do you think, because you talk with people almost every day of your life, why do you think makes it too difficult for people to live and cleave? Is it because there's no help, they don't know where to run to, they don't know what to do, and they just decide that I want to do this and I'm gonna do this and that's it?
I come back again to what Pastor said. I think humanity came from God.
Mm-hmm.
And human beings are only able to show the side of God by understanding God.
Yes.
When we have the selfish nature in us,
Mm-hmm.
it literally means it's what has been projected into us. And you know, there's a thing in the Bible that speaks of fruit of the Spirit. I mean, they only come as a result of your relationship with God.
Yes.
There are people who are generally selfish. They were taught to be selfish. They grew up in a selfish society. They were not taught to share.
Oh, so you can't blame them actually.
No, they have a part. They have a part to refuse to be that person.
Okay.
They have to, because none of us grew up being good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think there was a statement in the Bible: none is good except
God
Jesus.
himself, yes.
So we have a work to work in ourselves. There are things that I used to do that I begin to realize. If I'm talking to an inspector, look, I take an introspection into myself. Oh, that was not good.
Mm-hmm.
So many a times people have no interest in working into themselves. There's an exercise I normally do with couples that is dealing with the emotional baggage. What it does not teach you to fix your husband,
Okay.
or fix your wife. It brings who you are in a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Our biggest problem is we want to fix other people instead of looking at ourselves
Yes.
in the mirror. Everybody has a lot of baggage.
Yes.
The common statement that I hear from couples: he did this, she did this. Nobody is talking about where they are having it wrong. So it is about you. And when it's about you, then you work on yourself. So people are not able to share and to do the positive things because they never take an introspection into themselves. I think one of the most reasons why we have good and bad is because of the devil. The devil says, I will. There was an element of greedy. There was an element of wanting to be. And I know my limitations. I know what I can do. If she is there, she can do it better than me. I allow her to do that. I found husband and wife who are out competing each other.
Which is very
Instead
wrong.
of complementing each other.
Yes.
You can't out-compete each other because you're on the same team.
You're one.
You are on the same team.
You clicked,
Yes.
actually.
So you need to be able to complement each other.
Yes.
When you get into a relationship, one of the most important fundamentals is, this is my partner. That's what we say it, but not knowing what we are saying. Your partner, you protect them. Your partner, you stand for them. Your partner, you defend them. Your partner, you compliment them. You advise, you encourage them. But when you're not doing that, why are you getting married? Why are you in this relationship? When every time you want to compete with it doesn't help.
Wow, interesting.
I just want to show you some quickly.
Okay.
Exactly what Coach has said and what we've said up until now.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask my sister on my right-hand side here to help me with this thing quickly. I want you to open your bottle, and now we'll see to we'll do a role play here quickly. You're not getting married now, okay? let's pour it in there quickly. Okay, stop it. Now take yours out there. There's no way. That's exactly what happens. You see, when two become one, that's what happens.
Oh, okay.
So you can't take it out.
Yes.
You see, and that's what we're trying to say now. Because if you cleave in, you become one team. You got to do things together.
Yes.
So basically, she can't take it out, I can't take it out, so we can drink it together.
Yes.
That's what
Definitely.
happens, yeah.
Wow. That was a very beautiful. That was very nice. Yeah. Wow. Well, that's marriage for you. That's really marriage for you.
Yeah. So that's how it should be done. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't have that thought. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't have it the way he just demonstrated it. Felicity, tell us about the importance of love. What is love to you? Is it respect? Is it getting flowers? Is it getting chocolate? Is it being taken out? What is love?
Okay, I'll always go back to the Bible.
Yes.
because in the book of Corinthians, love is explained to you there. It's explained to you, yes. When you have all of those aspects of what love is, then what else do you want? Love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy, love forgives, love does not remember the wrongdoings of the of other person.
Oh, that's where
All
forgiveness
of
comes
that,
in.
yes.
Okay.
If you have all those aspects in place, and I think we need to practice it daily. We need
hard
to
work.
make us aware, we need to become aware of these things, because we sit down and we expect things from other people. We expect our husbands to do A, B, C for us, but we don't teach ourselves the truth. And the truth is in the Bible. If you know what love is, the rest will come. The
Wow.
rest will fall into place.
Wow. So love is actually the bigger picture of it. You need to know what love is. I remember you were telling me about, are you giving me a demonstration of love being like a tree?
Yes.
And then there's the maneuver, you know, when you're building a tree. Just explain it please again.
Yes. I look at a marriage as a tree,
Okay.
because a tree grows from a seed.
Mm-hmm.
That seed being my husband and I.
Mm-hmm.
And then this seed produces, it produces roots.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a seed, you feed it with water,
Mm-hmm.
otherwise nothing's going to happen.
Okay.
So this is all the knowledge that you have to know about one another as a couple.
Okay.
So these roots form into the ground, and these roots is love. Because without roots, nothing grows.
Oh, okay.
So then this tree grows, and a tree doesn't grow and have branches and stuff all automatically.
Yeah.
It starts, and it starts like a little plant, and then the plant becomes a trunk, and then this trunk forms branches and leaves.
Uh-huh.
The branches is all the respect you want, the honesty, the communication, the fun times, forms part of this tree.
Okay.
So it starts from underneath the ground, and then it develops, because marriage is something that grows. It's not something that you just walk into a shop and buy it and it's there. You just put it there. It's something you learn. You learn about one another's mistakes. You learn about all these other things. So it's look at it like a tree. Look at it like a plant that has to still grow.
Yes.
And then the little flowers come out and all the fruits come out.
And then
whatever.
it becomes beautiful.
Yes. And this tree also has seasons, you understand?
Yes.
Seasons come, blows away all the leaves, and then later the
Starts
tree
all over
starts
again.
Yes. And that's how any relationship is. It's got its moments in between, but then you need to stand strong. The trees fall off, the leaves fall off from this tree, but this tree still stands.
The tree still stands.
Yes.
Wow, interesting. So what you're actually telling us here is that you need to work on a marriage the way you're working on a plant if you are a plant lover. If those that are plant lovers will understand what she's trying to say, that is just how marriage is. Unfortunately, there's no easy way in. It's only the hard way. There's only nothing else but only the hard way.
It can be fun too. It's not labor.
Okay.
It's not a difficult thing that you just go there and when you look at marriage, because the generation now, when they hear marriage, they run away because of what people always also from the other side say about marriage.
Yeah, like the
there's
marriage people
there's a lot of negativity in the married world.
Yeah.
And what they see from other people, this lady is going through this, I don't want to go through that. You understand? So regardlessly, before you get married, go for counseling, understand what marriage is first.
Yes.
And then when you're ready to open up your heart and to live, and
yes.
then we can go into it.
Wow.
And then please just do it open-heartedly. Nothing is refreshing than an open heart and mind, and that is brought by forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
Yes, let it go and go on. I mean, life is so short, time is limited. You don't want to waste it on unnecessary things. And always remember that the devil is to haunt us.
Yeah.
It's going to break us down. It's going to come in with little things, but we need to know who we are.
Yes.
And we need to stand strong and fight him
Yeah.
through prayer.
Through prayer.
Yes.
Wow. Well,
said.
okay. She wants to say
Well said.
Petrina, I just want to come in there. Usually, if I'm an instructor at the college, the Namibian Police College, coming on gender-based violence, we always, of even the couples we are coming in, we've got a thing we call it cycle of violence.
Okay.
Yeah, this cycle of violence, we've got 3 legs. And that is also how our lives is, if you check it. People will come and fight today at our office. You counsel them, you talk to them, they go back. And after 4 or 5 months, they are back again. You know, cycle of violence. You will cut that, I said 3 legs, you will cut the tension one. We start there. Tension, when there's tension in the house, you don't want to say anything because it's like you are just walking on the eggs. If you just say something, it just bursts. And later on, you cannot take the stress and you say, okay, come what happens, and it bursts.
Wow.
And you beat each other and you swear to each other, you mention it. And after that, wind comes down. Then we call it a honeymoon stage.
Okay.
And that's where the honeymoon stage, and then you forgive each other, you stay again, and after 3 months, the tension starts again. So we call it a circle of violence. And that's how our lives is, and that's how our marriage is. So forgiveness is always playing a big role.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Very, very important. Forgiveness, you need to forgive over and over and over again. Christine, you are from LA. She's our LA girl. She's literally bringing LA into Africa. That's what, that's her motto, that's a slogan. You're married to a Namibian. And you two are from different backgrounds.
Completely different backgrounds.
Completely different backgrounds. Do you sometimes, because sometimes people say that when you are from different backgrounds, that is actually the relationship or the marriage becomes more difficult, because this one is not from an African background. In Africa, women, most of them, they're at home, pounding mango, submissive, very submissive, very much submissive, and the men are the muscular ones. They're keeping their heads up and whatsoever it is. Has it been a problem, or were you able to go around it and understand each other about it?
That's very interesting, actually. My nationality, I'm an Armenian American. So in the Armenian culture, we are a small country near the Middle East. We also have gender roles as well.
Okay.
Whereas the women have a certain role in the marriage and a man has a certain role as well. They come together to be a team, to work together with their roles combined. So luckily I was raised in a home which valued those roles.
Okay.
So in that aspect, we understood each other very nicely, because I didn't come with a very Los Angeles state of mind of it's completely equal here, and please, the feminists in the audience, don't start looking at me with the side eye yet. It's not that I am an anti-feminist. I am not. I enjoy being a woman. I enjoy my role, but I also enjoy my role in my marriage, not just in society. And I believe that when you two respect each other's roles and you upkeep and maintain and put work into your own roles, you make for a happy marriage. I do believe in that greatly. So I brought that with me, luckily, because in my upbringing, not so much in a Los Angeles upbringing, but in my home, I was able to be taught those things.
Wow.
And to now work on it and to master it. Because like you said, it's ever growing. Marriage is a seed that's ever growing. You are ever learning. I came at the age of 28 to Namibia. And I still felt like I was a child until I learned a lot about myself. Is very important. That you first must learn about yourself before you can learn what kind of a wife to be. Yeah. I learned a lot after my move here, and it's ever growing and ever learning, and we put in that work, but it's not labor. It's a joyous work. It's something we learn about each other every day. We're married for 6 years, but it feels like looking forward to a lifetime of learning of one another and working on this together. But it's fun work. It's not hard labor. Sometimes, but no, it's not hard labor.
Okay. Tell me, do you and your husband, coming from different backgrounds, do you share chores in the house? Do you do chores in the house together? Like today he cooks, tomorrow he does that, because I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but with people of the color of Coach, they have a big problem. They don't want to do anything in the house. They just want to be all bossy and yeah, that's it.
You know, I respect when a man has the want to do chores in the house. That's what I respect, is the fact that you respect me enough to help me, but you don't have to. Because if I have that time, if I have that luxury to be home and not in an office all day, and I can do it, I respect that you want to help me. But I love, for example, cooking dinner and lunch every day. For me, the cooking is therapeutic. I enjoy it. I have friends that don't like to cook. They won't cook a dish to save their lives. So, but I enjoy those chores, as you call it. But I find it to be joyous little things to do around the house. My husband is not one to say that I will not fold the laundry, but he will be happy to help if need be. Okay. But I enjoy doing those things, my roles in the house. Okay. But let's say, I'll give you an example. 2 years ago, I had some surgery, minor, but I wasn't very physically active around the house. I couldn't move around a lot, and I'm telling you, my husband stepped up and he really helped me. Because he was cooking, he brought me snacks, he did the laundry if needed be. Also, again, we have a physical distance. Sometimes he's in Rundu, sometimes I'm in Windhoek. Sometimes we're apart for a week, 2 weeks. He must be able to manage on his own to do those things as well. Yes. So I respect that there's a want to be there for one another, but you don't, how can I put it? You don't have to in order to make me happy. But I love that you respect enough to even want. It's the thought that counts sometimes, So you're a happy wife. I'm a very happy wife.
Coach, why are you people of your color very difficult? Why are husbands of your color very difficult? Why do you think is it that makes it very difficult for men of your color to help around the house, for help wives around?
Say again differently, not me.
Not Coach, men of his
I think what she says is
Namibians.
What she says is quite profound. It's an African concept, and which is not good.
Yeah, it makes it very difficult.
Most men get married to get a babysitter, to get a maid. And unfortunately, these things are tolerated. It comes back to what Pastor said.
Yes.
When you go through premarital counseling, these things are talked about. They are in a different intercultural marriage. I mean, she says in her upbringing, it wasn't a problem. Yes. You need to know how they do things in their culture. In my Zulu culture, if you get married, your wife and kids are kids. You refer, if your father is asking you, how are the kids? It is including the wife. So it is about you changing, it is about you changing the mindset.
Yes.
In that same culture, when there are issues being deliberated off the household, the wife is not supposed to be there. So you find our upbringing sometimes hasn't been good. And most men hang on to it. That's why it's important for premarital counseling. I personally advise people 6 months is the smallest you can do for premarital counseling, because I've seen people say, hey, Pastor, I'm not ready, because of what they are beginning to find. When you have a man who has not been schooled or cultured to understand what marriage is not about me marrying a washing machine, who's my wife. Because those are things when, if I'm not married, I'm staying alone, I do by myself.
You do it yourself.
I do my own laundry. I do my own laundry.
Yes.
She's coming back from work. This is normal in an African setup. The dude sits and puts his feet on the table, he's busy with the newspaper. He doesn't give a damn that there's nothing coming from the kitchen. He wants her to run around. And believe you me, in my experience in counseling, I have found most African women not enjoying the sex, because by the time they go to the bedroom, they're as tired as a hunting dog. So you basically begin to tire that woman, but she must perform
again
like a tiger in the bedroom. It doesn't work that way. It comes back to what Pastor, I think, I don't know how I would emphasize the cleaving and living. When you cleave, when you leave some practices in your mother's house which are not healthy. Let them go.
Yes.
I mean, in an African culture, when you wake up, it is the duty of the son to say good morning to dad. Maybe I've not seen him. You know, in African culture, the mother, you have to say good morning, maybe. It's not her who says good morning. Is not supposed to be you say first. Anybody who has seen the other good morning
first.
That's why you find in an African culture it's difficult for the mother to say sorry to the children, even if she made wrong. So those are some of the things that when we do the living and the cleaving, you look at, is this thing going to work in a marriage? So if it's different cultures getting married, you look at some practices in your culture which you know are not healthy.
Yes.
With the changing of society.
Please.
There are some cultures you realize that this ain't gonna work. I have to do it. I have to do without it. If you want a good marriage, as they both said, it's a serious work. You have to let go some of those things.
Yes.
And in African culture, you don't say to visitors, please don't visit us this weekend. We want to our us time alone. My uncle, he had a visitor from Swaziland. They are in Durban, and the visitors did not tell them they were coming. By the airport, they said, "Hey, we're spending the 2 weeks with you." My uncle is married to a white lady, and they have a different understanding. And they said, "Listen, you did not tell us you're coming. We're not taking visitors. Find a B&B to sit and stay."
Yes.
In an African culture, if you do that, they are not welcoming. They hate visitors. So these are things that when you two are getting married, they cause gender-based violence.
Yeah, it's true.
The way he treats my parents.
family.
You see, but it's not healthy for us just to have visitors unannounced, just coming. No,
regardless of it's
it
whether it's
doesn't
your
have to work
mother
that
or
way.
your father.
So it is about premarital counseling, where you're told marriage is like this,
Yes.
roles are like this. Maybe you were never taught how roles are important. You just want your wife or your husband to do them, even if they're going to damage your marriage.
I just want to come in there. You know, working with a lot of people, it's also learning you a lot of experience. Like me and her, we are on the same boat.
Okay.
Me, another tribe, my husband, another tribe. My husband, very far in the north, me and Van of the kids. But I was having a very interesting case at my office, one of the computers. The couple comes in there. They said to the mother-in-law of the man's mother, come and visit without unannounced. Because she feels it's her son's house. It's her house. She can come and go
whenever she
pleases her. And she just come unannounced at home and to come and visit. But the moment she comes in, she saw her son Abba the baby girl. And this man is in love of his baby girl of him. And the mother couldn't take it. He said, "You make my son
Nanny, what's that?
A Murphy."
Murphy.
And it was a big fight. Because these two understand each other. The man likes if cheat, and he can take care of the baby while the mother is busy of the house. So the mother-in-law said, "No, but in our culture, man is not allowed to abba the baby." And if you abba the baby, if you abba the baby, that means you become a Murphy.
Yes.
While I did not raise you as a Murphy. And that's where African comes in. That's where I'm talking about cultural norms, traditional norms, the way you grow up in your house, like she said. So it starts at the home. Everything starts at home.
It's actually very important now what you just say that. I'm sorry just to cut you in there. Where you're coming from, leave everything behind.
That one.
Including the way you were raised. Because here is not your house where you're going to be raised. You have already been raised, you're a big man, you can think for yourself now.
Exactly.
And when it comes to family, in-laws, it's a terrible thing. It's really a terrible thing. So the two of you need to understand each other. You need to put the boundaries that you just can't show up at my house really unannounced. What if I was on my way for a vacation? What? So I'm going to cancel my vacation because mother-in-law came to visit now. And I can't say no to her. Wow.
Then you don't respect her.
Yes, if you say no, then you don't respect her.
Their mothers-in-laws here now.
All right, guys, it was really nice conversation. We're gonna